88.7.
All right, 20 minutes now past 7 o'clock here on Power Business on this Monday edition of the show, well into the second hour. Let's get into this next conversation now. The South African Revenue Service, or SARS, has launched a dedicated crypto tax unit signaling increased scrutiny of cryptocurrency transactions. Well, to help us understand how SARS is identifying and auditing crypto taxpayers, what compliance steps individuals should take, and the broader implications of these risk audits, we speak now to Thomas Lobban, Director at Ibex Consulting, a division of Latita Africa. Thomas, a very good evening and welcome to Power Business.
Appreciate it. Always happy to be here.
Well, as I mentioned now, SARS has launched a dedicated crypto tax unit. Talk to us about what does this mean then for taxpayers who hold or trade cryptocurrency?
Well, the short answer is that SARS is well equipped and definitely focused on this as a specific area of non-compliance. It also means that SARS is public with the fact that they are ready to tackle large-scale non-compliance wherever it may lie. And the tools at their disposal are quite interesting.
Well, interesting there. But talk to us then about, Thomas, how is SARS identifying individuals with undisclosed crypto transactions? Are they working with exchanges or using other tracking methods?
Well, SARS has extremely extensive power as far as information gathering and enforcement is concerned. One of the avenues they are definitely getting their information from is crypto exchanges themselves. Last year they sent letters of warning stating as much, and now this year they state they're sending letters of additional assessments, essentially audit notices, saying the exact same thing. Now, late last week, I had a meeting with the crypto unit. And something further that was mentioned to me is that they're also able to trace transactions on the blockchain now, which is very interesting and should be a little bit concerning for somebody who knows they're non-compliant.
Yeah, certainly. Now, talk to us then about what specific documents is SARS requesting from taxpayers when conducting these audits.
Now, finally, we have a little bit of clarity from the horse's mouth on this, because the exact information SARS requires has had a little question mark around it for a long time now. So in this meeting, that was the exact question that I asked, and I made sure it was very clear. What SARS is looking for as far as supporting documents for your declarations are concerned is CSV files, which is essentially the transaction history directly from each of the exchanges that you have crypto on or have had a transaction through, as well as your wallet IDs, so that they can use your wallet ID, your wallet being where you keep your crypto, to trace your exact crypto transactions. And the only time that SARS doesn't need that wallet ID is if you can produce a PDF statement drawn directly from that exchange as a disclosure document to SARS. Unfortunately, it's only really local exchanges that give that PDF statement, which would be a great shortcut for taxpayers. But most global exchanges have never heard of such a thing and wouldn't give you that.
Yeah, certainly. Now, talk to us then about cases where taxpayers who disclose their crypto holdings were still selected for audit. Why is this happening?
This is absolutely the case in my most recent meeting with SARS. This taxpayer in particular, last year they had submitted, important here, a corrected tax return disclosing their crypto after learning that that was necessary. And that return was still subject to verification. That's where SARS is looking at the documents and info that the taxpayer provides in support. And the risk augmentation unit, the crypto unit at SARS, they selected this taxpayer for a risk audit. Evidently, it wasn't entirely clear that this person had caught up on their disclosures. So it seems like there might be a little bit of a time a delay or a deadline or a point of time until which SARS is looking at taxpayers, which suggests that this is a round of audits and there will be further rounds of audits based on the information that SARS gathers and at the time they compare that information they receive to your past returns. So even if you've gone in and corrected it afterwards, you may still be hearing from this team.
Yeah, interesting. Now, Thomas, I want to know then, could SARS's focus on crypto suggest that they see it as a major source then of tax evasion, or is this more about tightening overall compliance?
Excellent question. Little bit of both. There's no question about the fact that crypto is by and large a tax compliance issue. For the longest time, and I mean years, taxpayers were transacting in crypto and did not even think about the tax implications. This only first came to light when SARS made a statement on it in 2018. So really, compliance is absolutely a problem. But the other side of this, and what we believe is the main impetus behind this renewed vigor, is the grey listing status in South Africa, of which compliance around crypto was a part. And so that makes this a very necessary thing for SARS to deal with in order for South Africa to recover from that status.
Yeah, definitely an important one for South Africa, trying to recover from that grey listing status. But Thomas, I guess even, small crypto transactions are reportedly being scrutinized. Should casual crypto users be concerned about audits?
Well, one of the things I really love to say is that if you've been drinking and you go through a roadblock, it doesn't matter whether you're driving a Toyota Tazz or a Ferrari California, you're still committing a crime. As far as SARS's priorities lie, of course they would look at larger liabilities that are potentially outstanding. But in this case that I've most recently dealt with, that we've dealt with here with the crypto unit, the taxpayer actually did not owe much to SARS or would not have owed that much to SARS, even on SARS's own assessment. So I suppose the answer here is, and at the risk of sounding like I'm fear-mongering, really not. If you know or at least suspect that you're non-compliant, whether it's to a large degree or a small degree, I wouldn't be too comfortable.
And I guess, Thomas, as we wrap up this conversation, what advice do you have then for taxpayers to ensure they remain compliant with SARS's crypto tax requirements going forward?
Well, this really goes in three directions. If you've been disclosing your transactions, gains or profits and losses to SARS, then carry on doing so. Just keep in mind that we've got updated documentary requirements. If you're somebody who knows or suspects that they're non-compliant, now is the time to seek counsel from your tax advisor or to find a tax advisor who's competent when it comes to crypto asset tax. And then, of course, if you're in the last category, being somebody who's received either last year's warning notice from SARS or a letter such as this, there are deadlines, and you need to make sure that you meet them. So it becomes an ASAP situation to deal with it.
And I guess that's where we're going to leave our conversation this evening, Thomas. Thank you, of course, for coming on the show this evening and giving us your insights.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. That was Thomas Lobban, Director at Ibex Consulting, a division of Latita Africa, talking to us about that conversation, what you should know about SARS's crypto unit now, a bit of both in terms of making sure that there's overall compliance or tightening overall compliance, as well as sort of seeing it as a source of major source of tax evasion there. Of course, Thomas helping us take us through that conversation and unpack all the considerations that you need to have there. Well, it's just gone 7:30 here on Power Business. Let's take a listen now to the news for the latest news headlines with Tsepiso Mosia.
Thanks, Nosipho. Good evening.